at Team In. This offseason has been the resurgence of this team, doing so well recently. They qualified for top 8 in the open quals, buddy, but they got DQ'd, unfortunately. So they are well and truly a top 8 team now in the UCS.
Dang, that is awesome to hear, though, because that is the kind of accolades that we are looking for in this Master League there. And speaking of Team IT, there we are. We got the Comfy Master 6-7. We got the Zika, DJ, Dwayne, and Elaine coming in there. And like you said, they got that top 8 UCS, top 8 UEC, top 8 EUL, and of course top 4 in the weeklies.
Yeah, what a squad this is. Zika, one of the most exciting players. Honestly, I've just been saying how much I love to cast Cypher. Bro, Zika has such an incredible Cypher. I hope, we didn't get to see them yesterday, unfortunately. They had a sub playing for Team In. I hope we get to see Zika today, because that would make me very excited heading on into this game. But of course, we need to have a talk about the mighty that is Los Duros. They are such a strong squad. INT did manage to defeat them in the seeding stage 2-1. It went all the way, bro. But this is Los Duros. We've got Luizin, Oscar, Danny, Alba, Noah, and No Way following out this squad. Top 8 in the European League previously. Top 8 in UCS. A brilliant squad and a fan favorite playing here today.
Yeah, Los Duros. I mean, listen, that when you see Oscar on the other team, you gotta lock in before you get shut down. That trainer has a lot of Pokemon in their roster there, and absolutely nasty on a Scyther too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. I think this is one of the most exciting clashes of today because you just have no idea where it's going to go. We saw it in the seeding stage. It was a 2-1 victory for Team In. It literally could have gone either way. We've seen already today that you do have the teams that have 2-0'd the previous one they're going up against already today. This is the one for me that is completely up in the air and could go either way.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see this as well. Albernoa, strong support player, deadly Hoopa. You got to watch out for that. If there's a ban that you're going to put on a target, definitely look at Hoopa because Albernoa is there and they got a lot of tricky things up their sleeves, whether it's a Phantom Force there or an actual trick over here, or whether they're going to be able to portal their team around and whether or not they're just going to place a portal and be like, oh, you think we're here, but it's just me.
I got production to let me know who's actually playing for Team INT. Zika is playing as we go on into the game here. They've also got Pig, a brilliant player on supports and defenders, but they were also playing all-rounders yesterday, buddy. So Team INT, all they've done is just improve their roster.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pig on support, that is, oh boy, that you're in a bit of trouble too. You thought Albernoa was a little tricky. Pig will come up with something just as nasty. But already the anti-blue squad, the anti-Nyterra is kicking in because we got the Mega Gyarados ban, we got the Mega Lucario ban, and the blues just keep coming with the Vaporeon.
Yeah, this is the issue with Pokemon Unite right now because you look at the opposition and you're like, I really want to ban out their strongest Pokemon as we see Hoopa getting banned out here by Team In. But there's so many that are so strong in this game right now, Johnathan. All of the Megas need to be looked at. Vaporeon, extremely good. Glaceon, the best attacker right now with how much it rips. So you've got to really ban out a lot more than you expect.
I think one of the takeaways from the last set is when we look at when Mega Charizard Y was picked up, that was a dominant force. Why was it dominant? Umbreon setting up mean looks. Then we had the Rapidash being coming in. Rapidash not a common pick. So all of a sudden it goes from banning out the most broken Pokemon or trying to first pick some of the busted mons to how can we utilize them into our specific unique strategies, our gameplay style. And already Zika on that Mimikyu, and then we got Luizin and No Way on that Blastoise Mewtwo X. Some of these power picks are coming out. Now it's going to be interesting to see what Pokemon are coming in to support them.
Oh, I love this, buddy. So Los Duros, they already get set up with their crowd control that they were looking for. The Miraidon gets taken away from Danny. They're going to lock in the Mewtwo Y. We saw them play that exclusively in yesterday's games. Alentia's going to pull out the Mamoswine here, one of your favorites to cast, as Team In look to bring in that crowd control. And they've built up a pretty good round comp here as Bidapig pulls out Clefable, Johnathan.
Yeah, Clefable's a really strong Pokemon with the Moonlight Heals, going into the Mamoswine, going into the Mimikyu there. Now it comes down to what are we going to throw it with? Oh, there we go! Serena! Clefable is able to keep up with Mimikyu Serena, of providing them a resource to fall back behind too. Almost like a mobile moving pad for them to get some extra healing off of, because they're going to need it when they're diving in on this Mewtwo Y and trying to take down this Oscatar.
Oh, bro, this is going to be such a fun game to cast. We've got Zika on Mimikyu. We've got Oscatar on Cypher. This is going to be a lot of fun. Bidapig is there on the Clefable. Gravity is a possibility because, of course, you will have dash moves on that Mewtwo as well. But we'll see whether that is the plan. Right now, this is the state of both of these comps. And already, you cannot predict who will win this game.
Not at all, not at all. But we do see some stacking items here on the Clefable, on the Serena. So scores early on going to be very important for these Pokemon here. On the other side, we don't have a whole lot of stacking going on. So nobody's really stacking anything except Oscatar onto that. Well, I guess the Mewtwo X is too, which is kind of dangerous, actually. Mewtwo X putting out a lot of damage there. You're giving up an item slot for that extra stuff because that Mega Stone's already taken up that crucial third slot.
Yeah, it kind of gives us a little bit of an insight into how they want to be playing this on the side of Los Duros. Typically, people pick up the Mewtwo X. They make it more support defender-ish, where he's kind of just there to pull people into the fight. Right now, no way. They're going all for it, bro. They've got the attack weight. I believe, is that an Assault Vest as well? Let me zoom in on that screen. It is an Assault Vest, so they're there ready for that special attack.
Yeah, Assault Vest so good. But, Connell, I don't think we ever highlighted this. Double Mewtwo is in this game, and they're going into the same lane, too. Los Duros says, you know what? There's something here. I called it out earlier. We're going to run it.
Bro, that is brutal. Mewtwo squared in the bottom lane here as they look to get a KO on Bidapig from the get-go. Poor Cleffa can't do anything. DJ stuck up against it here as Miraidon. Not a lot you can do against those Megas.
No, not a lot you can do. They're already putting the pressure down. Miraidon able to out-secure that top funnel B. That's going to be really crucial for it to keep that pressure in the lane. But look at this. Oscatar's already in the top lane, ready to cause some havoc.
Nearly gets the dual wing B execute off, buddy, but not an easy target on the side of Swinub. They're such a strong laner here, so they're just going to try and take the rest of the farm away from Team In.
We do have a little bit of a support duo going on in the central path there. We got that Blissey going up against the Clefable, but they're able to pull away. They connect. There's a 4-man at the top. The 850 birds are spawning. Look at that. Already gone deleted. Less than 3 seconds to go. But Zika is, look at the damage done.
That's brilliant. They were so close to getting KO'd, but they managed to take all of that experience and get back to their pad. A quick rotation here from Mimikyu as they look to come down to the bottom lane. Danny's trying to stop this damage from getting close to no way. They're weak, but they do get back to their pad. And look at the maneuverability from Danny here, trying to get around from Zika and DJ, but unfortunately, the pincer movement finds them.
No, but they do see that the Mimikyu is now in the bottom there, and Oscatar has the opportunity. Do we go top? Do we go bottom? Realizing that we are in a bit of a pickle down in the bot side, they're coming down. Now we got double Mewtwo's with the Scyther. Clefable is gone. No more healings. No more mobile pad. Regidrago hits the field, and Oscatar says, this is going to be mine.
Yeah, Regidrago for the boot is going to be pretty good here for Los Duros. Give that little bit of extra experience, uncontested as well. And now they've hit the extra bits of levels they were looking for. But I will say, this game, bro, it's all going to come down to the Mimikyu Cypher fight. They're trying to take the lead in levels here.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Level 7s on both sides. The Mimikyu still in that bot side there. Now we do have Scyther with an opportunity. Blissey says, look, Escavalier's still up. Scyther, you want it? No? That's all right. I'm Blissey. I'm going to take it. Piloswine's onto them, though. Investigator Detective Piloswine is on the case, rooting out the Blissey.
Oh, Oscar was like, I don't need no buff when I can go farm Team Int, but unfortunately, a little bit too late with it, buddy. The dual wing beat's gonna go down, doesn't manage to find Bida. Zika sat in the bush, waiting for the ambush as they go through with Phantom Force, and it's gonna connect, and that is then sent back to the spawn area. Not a good sight for Oscar as right now. Los Duros cannot hold strong against Zika on this Mimikyu.
The play with me comes in and pulls down the Mewtwo. Why? Taking it down and sending it home. We're going back to old school where Mimikyu's like, you know what? We're going to go brawl, take stuff down. They're not going to break this pad quite yet because they still got to get that Mimikyu score in. Mewtwo and Blissey stopping it. Those egg bombs delaying the score. Now we have Los Duros. 4-man army taking down Zika. Now moving on to Clefable. They're looking at Red Jalecki. They're saying, yum, yum, let's take this on and get our 6th member.
Huge shout out to Albanoa there. Oscar went down nearly 3 times if it wasn't for those heals, and they managed to grab the Regieleki as well as finding a great KO. Now can they defend this pad? Team Int do not want to give the advantage over to Los Duros here. They do have the defense for it, but oh, that's a shame. The Lecky walks in anyway, and now Los Duros can get a tasty overcap in that goal and look for more farm in the central area.
All it takes is one bad flick of the stick there, and that was it. Piloswine went for the Ice Fang and put it into their own pad. Unfortunate. Blastoise getting out on 1 HP in a dream. I don't know how they dodged that Miraidon. All it needed to do was press a B press there after its Unite move. Blastoise was gone. But Team Int is now pushing this pad, and they said, we're not inting if it works.
Yeah, I like how aggressive they're getting here, buddy. They are working so well to have their frontliners up there and allow DJ to just rip from this back line. Oscar has not had an easy job jumping onto DJ. This is a great team effort from Team Int.
Yeah, Team Int is starting to run away. Zika is sitting at level 11 on this Mimikyu there, but they're moving as a unit. Mamoswine off laning, get that level 9, get the Unite move online, and to get back into the fray with the team up in the top here. Only wild Pokemon to grab and experience, but this is also the scores that could come in. Oscar's already going in with the Green Illusion dive. We're going to be seeing a huge Queenly Ascendant come in and pick them up. They're taking them down, sending them home, and there's a nice surf with the Blitz Consist connecting onto Blastoise.
Mammoth says it's Mammoth time, bro. Valentia dives in. Good Ice Fang as well. It's a triple KO for Pancakes as they look to Pancake Los Duros with the Stomps. It's a 46 overcap on that one, buddy. His team in 237 to 124 now. Both teams will go their separate ways as they look to grab the opposite objectives.
I think Mamoswine might be a little bit confused, they thinking, like, hey, I'll play for the orange team now. Don't worry, guys, don't worry. I'm just looking purple, but that's okay. I'm really an orange color as they go to get vision down on the bot side and say, Red Jalecki's now playing there. I should take a defensive pit.
I mean, this is going to be an interesting play. Los Duros here, they're going to at least show face with no way, but recognizes, hey, there is way too many Pokemon from Team Int here. We're going to have to back up. We should probably grab some experience and look to get ready for the final fight, because that is where this will be decided. There is a Mimikyu that has hit level 13 at the 340 mark in this game.
Yeah, and it's going to be Kyogre time in 90 seconds. But Serena's already hitting on top of that Blastoise there. Blastoise trying to get the Surf off, but first the Hydro Typhoon goes in, locks down Zika, and then we're pushing into the Clefairy. They're going into the deep there. We're trying to get it down, but it rolls the fly on the Wonder Wish. Now they're in deep looking for the Mewtwo. Why? And Serena comes in and says, you gotta go. That's my Clefable. You can't have it.
Time to kneel, says Pancakes. They were looking like they want to go for that score, buddy, but recognizes that Danny was going to be back early enough, so they have to get off that pad. Now Team Int looking to find more experience here with a minute left before we see the objective spawning through. This could be a risky move. I like the fact that they've actually retreated from that.
Yeah, the Mamoswine has a really good disengage there with that Earthquake. They're able to get away from the Mewtwo. Now we're going to be looking for a position. We're 37 seconds away from Kyogre. We have 237 to 144. Los Duros knows they are behind. Levels now, they are also behind. Quadruple 11s with Oscitar at 13. They need to find a pick. Miraidon is the danger threshold for them, but Zika, they need to be able to hold off Zika while taking down Miraidon.
Looking at the positioning they've got, Team Int recognize they're going to have to defend this T1 pad. One Hundo Burger will flip who is winning this game right now. Los Duros, though, they want to get aggressive here. They do have good rip. They've got Oscitar on the Cypher. They have Mewtwo Y for Danny as well. Looking to see if they can bait in Team Int here. When there's a Kyogre, the game is not over, and they're looking to make that approach with a dive in from Pancakes. They don't find anybody just yet. Enhanced Charge Beam is going to be used. There's the electric terrain. Los Duros want to wait for that to expire before they look for that crowd control.
Now the Mamoswine is going in. There's the Earthquake there with the double Infinite Cyber coming out there. Zika has shown great patience there, but we do lose the Serena and the Clefable. Los Duros is now an advantage of 5v3. Mamoswine is looking to pick up Oscitar, but it's them that gets picked up instead. It's Zika alone against an army, and we get Team Int completely aced. Los Duros is now here to slay the Ogre.
What an effort from Los Duros there. Brilliant patience from them, waiting for Team Int to make the approach, and the second one of them overstepped, they let everything loose. They find the KOs. Now all they gotta do is find a Hundo Burger, and that's exactly what Alba Noah does. They have the lead with 55 seconds left on the clock.
They got to look for a way to get another score in because this is way too close. All it takes is just one little point, a 5 cap in the double point section to go for it. But we do have the Serena going in deep, trying to get those boots down, and we got the Queenly Ascendant trying to pick it up. There we go in as well. Oscitar dives in, trying to take it down, but they can take it down. They do take the Clefable down with them, but we are backing off, and there is a blue buff on the side of Team Int now.
Are they going to be able to get there, though? Zika recognizes Mewtwo X is going for it, knows that No Way is looking for that bottom goal. They do make it, stop them from scoring any points. Not that they had that many, but this is where it's tough. 15 seconds left. Pancakes, they only need to score this 10 point. They've now got 19. It's not going to be enough. The defense from Los Duros is there. We see Mamoswine trying to do the same on the bottom T2, but they managed to jump through. Mimikyu! No, they didn't. That was so close.
Oh my goodness. They're going to look at this and they're going to realize, man, if only we had 5 points in the pocket there, we would have had that. 237 to 244. Team Int controlling the game for the most part, but Los Duros coming back, clapping back, and saying, we'll see you in game 2 when we have point advantage.
That was crazy, bro. An extra second, an extra millisecond in that game, and Zika would have been able to get that score in. They ended up taking the buff, I believe. They were the ones with it when they went onto that pad, and they just needed that in. It was 24 points. That would have given them the win. That is crazy. This is why we love these two teams going up against each other, bro. It is that close when they compete.
Also, I just want to take a look at these numbers there. Miraidon doing great work. 94k damage dealt out. 23k damage taken. That's what you want in an attacker. But 0 damage healed? I don't know how you get a 0 damage number like that, or a heal number like that, because you always seem to get like some sort of heal. So I'm a little bit impressed by that one.
Yeah, I mean, DJ, 94k damage dealt, 23 taken. Yeah. You've done what you need to do as a ranged attacker there, bro. It was electric, was that game. Zika has cooked as well. It literally came down to the final moment, all again being the battle that goes on during that Kyogre fight. And I gotta say, Los Duros, I think they lost maybe one Pokemon during that entire fight.
Yeah, I want to say they did. I want to say, I don't remember who it was now. Oh my gosh. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I blanked. And then, yeah, they respawned in. They got it back. All 5 of them got the Kyogre buff. They were able to just take them down so methodically. And, yeah, once they found the momentum, it just was a swing. The first KO was all they needed.
I love that game. I can't wait to see where game 2 goes. Right now,
Yeah.
it's Team INT, bro, they are going to be kicking themselves. It was a second away from taking that win, but they opened the door for Los Duros a little bit too much in that game. They were very aggressive in the early to mid stages, but just allowed Los Duros to get too much experience to get back into it.
Yeah, and as we can see in the replay here, like, this is where Los Duros started to find their momentum to come back. They went there, they took the first pad, they got pushed, but Team INT coming back, clapping back, and look, this is the Blastoise I mean. 1 HP in a Dream is able to just loop around the Miraidon and make their escape.
Oh, I mean, it's just non-stop fighting here, bro. A good effort from Alentia to come back from, you know, throwing the Lecky into your own pad. They had some brilliant Ice Fangs in those final few fights. I liked this effort as well from Oscar, but it's so difficult with the crowd control that connected. You had that Serena Unite move to shut down Oscar. You had the effort coming in from the Mamoswine, the Ice Fang. It was really tough for them to be able to connect with those executes.
Yeah, the Mammoth Mashers were on point. Those Ice Fangs, making sure they do pick up those targets for their team to go in and collapse on. Even they were combating that Blastoise in terms of power and positioning there, and they were doing a really good job of just being able to say, you know what, Blastoise, we're going to keep pace with you. But the Hydro Typhoon here, followed up by this Surf that's about to come through, like, this is just where Blastoise shines the most. And look at Alentia surviving. They're like, Oscar must go down. And they do manage to get the KO with the help of Zika, but it just wasn't enough.
Bro, it took so much as well. Alba Noah, huge shout out to them with the mad heals provided over to the side of Oscar, keeping him in that fight for so long, and then just an easy rip. This is crazy because as you see the score there, it literally came down to the final second on who was going to win that game, despite the fact that Los Duros won that fight at the objective so effectively.
Yeah, 1 second longer. If that game just went on 1 second longer, it was in Team INT's hands. But, yeah, oh my gosh. Game 2 now, though. Game 2. Now we're going to be looking at to see how we're going to pivot. Because Team INT, they, like I said, they were controlling the majority of the narrative of that game. So, coming in, it's like, all right, now how do we pivot? Where do we go? We just messed up a little bit at the Kyogre fight. So, coming into Game 2, we just got to make sure that fight itself locked down.
I wonder if Zeke is going to try and take the Cypher this time, the tried and tested. I mean, a brilliant speedster player anyway. The Mimikyu was so effective, Johnathan. We were talking about the Pokemon that we love to cast, and I went on about Cypher. I completely forget. I hate playing Mimikyu. I hate playing against Mimikyu, but casting it, boy, is it so much fun.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, Scyther is such a treat to be able to look and watch and see what it can do. There are, like, certain trainers within the UCS, the EUL, within all these other leagues out there where you're just like, you see them and you're just like, no, Scyther's an instant ban against you every day of the week. You're never touching it again. I remember the last time I let you have it.
I mean, looking at the bans here, it's Glaceon that's going to be banned out by Team INT this time. That was previously Los Duros. Mega Y will be the same ban for Los Duros, and then the Vaporeon. So Hoopa has been let through by Team INT this time.
Yeah, Hoopa is coming through, and that is going to be an interesting take on this as well. Albert Noah is a strong Hoopa player, but Biter Pig also strong with these supporters as well. Alentia is going to be picking up the Blastoise. Strong engagement Pokemon there, able to set up great plays there. But Albert Noah says, my Hoopa is my boy, welcome home, as Noah is looking to pick up the Mewtwo X. Undecided yet, but that's the way it looks like for Los Duros.
I do love the response ban picks here from both of these squads. So Pancake Serena gets banned out by Los Duros. They don't want any of that action. Alentia steals the Blastoise away from Louisian. Albano is happy to have their Hoopa. Zika, oh bro, Zika pulls out the Leafeon. The first time I saw Zika before I casted them, I see their TikToks on Leafeon, and boy, they have a brilliant Leafeon.
Oh, Biter, you were teasing me. I saw the Sableye with 4 seconds to go, but DJ comes in with the Dodrio. Can kind of see what Team Int's going to do with this game, and they're going to be off kilter, off lane and pumping scores in. They said, we lost by 5 points, so we're going to go score comp, and we're going to fix it. We're going to make sure this never happens again. If we're going to lose, it's going to be at the Kyogre fight, and not because of 5 points.
Beena does it. She pulls out the Sableye for you, buddy. As Pancakes looks to see what they want to bring to the fight. Surely not a third speedster. Are they going triple speedster? Team Int with triple speedsters on the field.
Oh, you love to see it. Okay, listen, now I gotta go check the live production chat. All right, this is too good to be true. I'm literally just waiting for Shivam to be in the back there and be like, listen, we have to reset. I'm waiting for it because this is like, yes, for me.
It's like, I mean, whether it's a viable comp is a different conversation, but we're very excited to be casting it, bro, because Oscar pulls out the Mimikyu, and one thing that Mimikyu is very good at is going one-on-one with speedsters. It's one of those pseudo speedsters that is very good if you go for that claw moveset to really do well against the speedsters, but 3 of them, that might be a little bit too much, but bro, they've all got Goal Getter on. This is a heavy score comp.
Yes! Oh, yeah, they're saying, listen, we lost by 5 points. We can't have that again. Scores are coming in. We got even the score shield on the Talonflame. Extra protection. The amulet coin for extra points there. But Lost Duros is onto them. They know that what they're going to do. They got triple all-rounders. 2 Mewtwo's that have that infinite Sideburn. What does infinite Sideburn do besides just hit the whole team as well as stun them out? Reveals their location on the map. If you ever lose a speedster, infinite Sideburn, and you know where they are.
I love this. I think this is it's literally strength versus speed in this game, Johnathan. Yeah. They have the Pokemon to get the crowd control onto these speedsters, but can they catch them? That's the problem. And this is why Beena Pig's pick here is going to be so important, because the stuns that Sableye can do when you are trying to catch out a speedster, this is a brilliant pick by Team Int for this score comp.
Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely love it. I'm here for it. 4 Goal Getters is insane, though. Oh, my gosh. You instantly know. You see, they're like, all right, they got 3 speedsters, a Sableye. We kind of get what they're doing. When you hit that load screen, Lestro's probably going, wow, they really want those scores in. So pad defense is one of the ways they're going to be able to defend against it. So, I mean, they have to get to the pad so you know where they're going to be at all times, where they want to be pushing. There's only 2 locations they could really be in if they want to get that done. So that is a really good way to just shut them down and lock them out from attempting to get what they want to do done.
I gotta say, the absolute audacity of Team Int to do this. They are currently a game down, Johnathan. They didn't win that last game. They have to win this if they want to go to game 3 against Los Duros, and they are playing something like this. That is confidence ensued into your team, and I love the fact that they have the confidence of each other to pull something like this out in the second game.
Listen, my favorite team in NA has a motto, and that motto is, it's not inting if it works. So, and Team Int is going full into it. They're like, listen, if it works, it's not inting. If it is, just look at our name. Come on.
We told you we were going to do it. It's in our name.
Exactly. Well, that's our warning label. That's our trigger warning. That's our, this is like, do not knock, or this is what you're getting.
We are just waiting for them to load up here, chat. We did have a crash, but it's all good. The comps will be staying the same. It's just Oscar that didn't have the opportunity to change their item. As you say, we still have these bugs going on in Pokemon Unite. We will do our best to get around them here in the European League Masters, but you know, inevitably they do happen.
Yeah, they do indeed. But you know what? That's okay. The Pokemon are staying the same, and that's what I'm so excited for. Yes. Sableye, when it's invisible, we're going to be able to exert a lot of pressure as well. Even if you do try to go for the team fights, it's a lot of hit and run tactics. So if that's the way you want to play it, like, that's still good. And Talonflame, that excellent secure. We do have great rip on the side of Los Duros, but that secure, little less certain. Talonflame could easily swoop in, grab the buff. All of a sudden, you got 5 Kyogre buffs on a team that's got 4 goal getters. You do not want to be in that scenario.
What's crazy about this game is it is all early game here, bro, on both sides of the comps, even on Los Duros. You don't need any evolutions. It's all early game in this one.
And Biter Pig is doing my favorite play. They're going straight for the invade. Albernoa is looking. They find the Sableye through that little detection method, but Sableye doesn't care. They're going in for the stall tactics. Meanwhile, double Mewtwo back down in the bottom lane here, looking for the secures. They miss out on the first Bunnelby. Now they're going to be looking to keep the pressure on by trying for the Indeedee.
I really like this tactic with the Mewtwo squared for Los Duros. It's worked for them quite a bit. I mean, last game you left with the Miraidon down here, which isn't too bad. It's very capable of defending against that, but it just means all that farm goes over to those Mega Mewtwo, and they get their Mega Meter very early. It's level 5 and they're ready to go in.
Yeah, Albernoa is doing a great job there, keeping the Leafeon at bay, keeping them back. They're like, listen, I know you got a goal getter, but you still got 17 points in the pocket. Goal getter or not, if we just keep hitting you, we keep tapping you, we get you low, we can KO you before you get any points in. 850 birds that are now spawning in, Tano.
Oh, looking to grab all of that is Team INT, and that's exactly what they do. Louisian hasn't hit level 5 yet. We don't have any super power ready to come through, but with that KO, that's exactly what they find. So now these speedsters, they've got to second guess whether they want to go close to the ultimate buzz.
Yeah, we're keeping vision now with the Leafeon. They find out where that Oscitar is on the Mimikyu. They're going into the bottom side here. They're going to be able to get that. Oh, so close! But the Sableye is. Oh no, that's the Dodrio is able to connect their points in. We do get taken down. Leafeon's back in. Dodrio's now gone. A little Squirtle's trying to keep the defense up, but it's not going to be enough as they're taken down. And now all of a sudden, Mewtwo Y and Oscitar are pressuring this pad.
Yeah, this is now getting to a difficult stage for Team INT. Getting to the point now where Los Duros is out-leveling them, and despite the fact that they've got those goal-getters, Los Duros has managed to take the lead with the points. It's all on the back of this Mimikyu. If they can't find the KOs onto it, they do there. Oscitar sent back. Here comes Zika looking for more KOs. They get hunted down by the Mewtwo X, and No Way manages to shut down that fight.
Now, I know one of the things that I always say is play your own game of Unite. Don't play what your opponent's playing. But Los Duros is playing the same game Team INT is, except they're being more successful. They're being just as chaotic, just as separate, just as annoying with hit-and-run tactics as they are. And look at this. They're able to take down the Buzzwole now as the Regidrago remains ignored. The Oscitar is up in the top now looking for the defense there. Some points go in, but they do have that point lead. 126-73 as they take down the Leafeon.
They really need to get the rest of their speedsters online. We need Talonflame on the field. It is difficult because Talonflame, of course, a free Evo stage Pokemon, has to have quite a little bit of experience to have access to that Fly or that Brave Bird. We need to see that because that's where Team INT is falling down right now. Los Duros have won the level battle. They are getting their Unite moves online. We have an Infinite Cyburn ready to go. Regidrago has been given to Los Duros as well. Everything is turning up Los Duros as Blastoise is sent back to the Pokemon Center. Finally, DJ hits Talonflame, but can't do anything with Crowd Control City on that pad.
I think the only good thing that's happened for Team INT in the last 90 seconds is the fact they now have a Blastoise playing on their team. Look at these points, and they said, you know what? You want to play 4 goal-getters? We'll show you how to score, and we don't even need it. 162-103 as Los Duros is commanding this lead and taking it back. They said, Team INT, you controlled the game last time, but now we are in control.
Bro, this is going to come down to an insane rip from Team INT on the objective coming in at the final few moments. I'm telling you now, that's exactly what they're going to end up going for, because Los Duros have so much control of Fire Sky Ruins here. Team INT cannot get anything working in either of these lanes right now.
No, but Los Duros does have that powerful position. They've already eliminated the first T1 pad in the bot side. That is where Regieleki is. It's now going towards the T2 with a free mark in. And the 2 Pokemon down there have a lot of points in their pocket there. But Team INT is keeping the pressure on in the top. But Los Duros finding the KOs on the Leafeon, finding the KOs on the Sableye, breaking the T2 pad before 5 minutes. Tano, there are 2 Regielekis that could still go towards that home pad.
Yeah, that's incredible. I also cannot believe Oscar just went back in on that and deleted Blastoise. That's usually not the combo that you want to see. Right now, Team INT looking to find a KO on No Way. It takes 3 of them to find that KO. We do see Triple Trample used, trying to get away from the Oscar dive. Mimikyu looks like they are going to go down. Regi's taken by Team INT. Is this where we see them get back into this game?
140 to 245. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the match. There are lots of time to get back into this. Hydro Typhoon coming out with the rapid spin combo coming through, dodging the infinite sideburn. Great defense now put down, but taken down by Albernoa's hyperspace portals. Woo! That is not something you see every day. Upa getting that KO.
Yeah, you love to see it. Oh, the Chaos Glower, but it doesn't connect. The damage came in from the Alterias, and no, they weren't able to send them back. And right now, despite the fact that these goal-getters are in play, Los Duros continues to extend their point lead. Team INT haven't been able to find a way to get in the lead at all. They've got to go for more farm here, Johnathan. Look at all the yellow dots on their side.
I know that, Tano, but look, that Regieleki's coming back in 8 seconds there. Straight shot to the home pad. Los Duros will either look to rip it now or to hold it in the pocket for the next minute and send that closer to a double points, because that is a win condition.
Yeah, that is going to be the right play as well, as they go score some points into the home pad as well. Unfortunately, I think the momentum is just on their side too much. I like this effort from Team INT here. They're trying to see if they can break this pad, get on and get more points in, just cut down that score lead even more. Wow, it's going down to 20 points now, buddy. But again, look at where Los Duros were. They're going to go back to the home pad after scoring back in Team INT's pad. And now, despite the fact that we've got a minute left before this objective comes in, it couldn't be any closer.
Yeah, they're going to break the T1 pad here. Dodrio's going to hop on that pad and help the Sableye get those points in. Dodrio could try to score, but that would just end up, breaking it with a little bit of a less score in. But they're going straight for the Regieleki there. That's nice grab from the Mewtwo X on the Talon Flame. Looking for the KO. The eject button out from the Buzzwole as it takes down with the side strike on Talon Flame. Huge resources being burned right now to avoid KOs to ensure Los Duros gets this objective.
Now it's Team INT managing to take the lead, but the objective has been taken. That is going to be walking into that home pad. We've got 25 seconds before the final objective is on the field. Team INT looking to get a Registeel as well. That's going to be single-handed by Dodrio, but here comes Oscar. Whilst the Lecky continues to walk, that will be defended, but that is going to be a Registeel for Mimikyu.
Oh.
Los Duros with a huge buff coming up to this fight here, Johnathan.
That tri-attack almost secured it now, but Groudon is here, so with the Groudon is here, I'm messing it up, Tano, I'm so sorry, but while it's now here, the game is still on, and here we go. We're poking and prodding around this. The home pads are open on both sides there. When we're starting to rip Groudon, it's about halfway through. Talonflame's just being like, oh.
Ooh, there's a flame sweep there, trying to see if they can find a pick. They don't. Hydro Typhoon is going to get 2 of them, though. In the middle of it, play with me onto Alentia, and they're taken out of the fight. The Groudon gets taken by Team INT. They found it. Zika goes on in, picks up the huge buff, and Team INT were already in the lead here, bro. Los Duros were controlling Fire Sky Ruins, but it's Team INT that takes the objective, and they're looking to win with a minute 10 on the clock.
Yeah, they're dunking these points in, 695 to 297. It was a rough early game, but they were able to find the momentum late game. Able to be like, all right, we can keep the tempo off. We're not going to play what they want to do. They've under our shenanigans of keeping the chaos on, but Mimikyu does have a Groudon buff. The home pad is open there. We do have an infinite Cyber in the pocket as we are looking to go up to the top T1 pad and break it.
I don't know whether they've got enough change here, though. They're looking for the overcaps. Let's get that one in. They do have the 50 on the side of Oscar as well, so 419 now, but they've only got the Hundo Burger left. That's going to get them to 500, but not enough change on the field. They're going to have to find KOs here to pick up more of that EOS energy, but the KOs are coming through from Team INT. Instead, they look to wipe out Los Duros, and with one of the most ridiculous comps that we've seen in a very long time, Team INT are taking us to a game 3.
Woo! You love to see it. You love to see it. Team INT said, not again. Never again by 5 points. All right. They were haunted by that. Haunted. They said, you know what? We're going all in on this. Scores, scores, scores. Because at the end of the game, that's all it's about. You can have the most damage dealt. You could have the most KOs, the most damage taken, the most heals, but none of it matters if you don't have the most points.
It upsets me that Pig and DJ didn't get 4 KOs and 6 assists, because that's beautiful sights there from the rest of the team. Mate, this is the second time already. We're only in week 1, by the way. Second time in this league where Team INT and Los Duros have gone up against each other, and we're going to a third game for the second time.
The second time, indeed. The last time this happened, yesterday, during the seeding stage, Los Duros lost to INT in that 2-1. So Los Duros is looking to keep that alive and say, you know what, we're going to reverse it. This is our 2-1 victory over you. So coming into game 3, I don't even know how you fight against this, or if you do bring a comp that is capable of defending this. That just relies on Team INT to bring it again. They could bring something completely else out of left field. It's why it's so brilliant and perfect.
Yeah, it's so difficult to catch those speedsters. You don't really have to worry about much else, but I gotta say, Alentia was brilliant on the Blastoise there. You utilizing that crowd control and being difficult to catch. The spin came out from Alentia, and that worked a treat for them, especially at trying to be wary of Oscar, although that Mimikyu, boy, were they cooking in that game. I don't know where to go for game 3 here, Johnathan, because surely you can't go for a comp like that again.
No, not again. But, Tano, I will also point out, this is 2 back-to-back games. Suicune didn't hit the ban list, did not hit the draft, and is, just not there. It just doesn't exist. It is still a very busted Pokemon. And I do believe that if you are going to fight a comp like what Team INT has, CC is where it's at. You may want to prioritize making sure that you have a lot of those stuns available to you.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't pull out this weekend there, Los Duros, seeing what they were going up against. As soon as Zika and DJ locked in that speedster, you'd be like, you know what, that's a good shout. Let's go for that. Let's see if they do that in the next game. But right now we have a look at where this one ended up, and it was all Los Duros control until we get to these moments here where Team INT managed to get back into it by just constantly scoring.
Yeah, and going into the Groudon fight too, like, look at this. They're starting to get it low there, but Team INT just starts making their move. They're coming in. They instantly take down that Mewtwo. The Hydro Typhoon setting that up. They're going in for more KOs. They completely ignore the Groudon now, but now that they've taken a few hits, they go for the Groudon now, and already it's too late because Team INT is on top of them.
How Zika managed to just... Thank you so much, production. Look at where Zika is. They're just on their own down in this bottom right of that Groudon fight where Louisin is, and they go on in with the Emerald 2-step. That lands, throwing out the Razor Leaf, and that's just it. Easy KO onto the objective for Zika. The fact that they were able to do that, that is an incredibly squishy Pokemon, by the way. They were not even looked at by Los Duros.
Yeah, not even. And when they did get the KOs on Team INT, it was the Sableye and the Blastoise, the Speedsters, the Powerhouses were still up, especially the one goal-getter user using Scorch Shield.
Yeah, I mean, what an absolutely ridiculous comp by Team INT, and I can't believe it worked so effectively for them. Huge shout out to that squad. As I said, having the confidence to pull out those kind of comps, and I will say it does force the opposition to really have a think about it. They're kind of like, this works for this comp, right? You're kind of second guessing what you're pulling out in this because you're like, yeah, this must work, right? Look, they're coming at us with something that's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not used to playing that. I've never seen that. hopefully this works, and I like that tactic here.
Yeah, and that's actually part of like what I really enjoy about this game is tactics like this coming out and working. They do work more as a surprise factor, so it's kind of like not something you can bring in more than once into a single set, but it does get you a crucial win, and that's what it's all about. Those surprise factors that you're trying to offset your Pokemon or your opponent there, and draft kind of like eliminates that surprise factor. If you're going into a blind pick scenario, you're like, oh no, I don't know what they're running, we can't counter them. But into a draft, be able to pull something out like this and just be like, oh no, how do we counter this? Oh, we might have messed up. Oh no. You know, like to be able to pull those moments off, that's just peak. That's just peak.
The difficulty is now I've got absolutely no idea what the next game's going to bring, Johnathan, because I tell you what, if you were a betting person, I could have put all my money on the fact that would not have been a comp that we saw in Game 2. So who knows what Team Int are going to do in Game 3, because they have to win this if they want to defeat Los Duros again.
Yeah, and I think the way Los Duros got to look at this too, look at how maybe some generic strategies could work to open up your core there. Blastoise was an instant pick. That was going to shut them down on Team Int there, so you had to take it away. The Hydro Typhoon, too disruptive. Surf, too disruptive. Blastoise's bulk, too disruptive. So Blastoise is a Pokemon you need to start looking at there as well. Suicune, paired up with maybe a Lapras or something else that got some freeze. Mamoswine's done some good stuff, but basically chain CC, chain your stuns there. Look for something to get that off. And once you have that core that you're able to work with, then you can go into your own strategy, because now you have something that can at least defend and counter anything that Team Tint might try to bring out.
I still can't believe we didn't have a Suicune in that game, bro. Not banned, not picked.
I know!
It's just bizarre. I mean, we were...
Two games!
Two games, exactly. Every time that I'm on cast, it's like, look, even if Suicune does no damage in this game, you would still pick it up. Like, the crowd control from that Pokemon is the best in the game, so you would still pick it up because it still adds so much to your team. So I'd be absolutely shocked if we don't see Suicune at least banned or coming out in this next game, mate.
Absolutely. But listen, Team Int, if you're watching, if you're listening to the cast, if you're listening to the casters and whatnot and like listening to them, let me tell you about a surprise pick you're not ready for. Blissey did not make it into the bans and is still up, okay? Make sure you grab that Blissey. And your last pick there, Razor Leaf Decidueye. I've given you the secret tech, send it. Blissey, Razor Leaf Decidueye, they will never expect it. Never expect it.
Bro, don't, because DJ will do it. DJ will absolutely pull out a Decidueye. That guy, man, honestly, whatever. He just loves playing that kind of stuff. As we go on into Game 3 here, chat, looking at the bans, I don't expect any changes here, realistically. Maybe the Serena gets let through, but we'll see if that sticks there for Los Duros.
Los Duros says Blastoise was too strong of a pick. Indeed, we're going to get rid of that. Blue, anti-blue is still gone there, but Team Int is picking up that Hoopa, taking it out of there, away from Albertoa. They're like, listen, there's a reason this belongs in a ban list against you, and we're going to bring it there. Charizard Y, staple ban. Clefable, get it gone.
Oh, banning out the Clefable is an interesting decision by Los Duros. What do they have up their sleeves that they don't want a Clefable on the field? Of course, great AoE healing, but Gravity is so good at countering certain Pokemon. This is an interesting strategy from Los Duros.
Yeah, and right away, Nyterra, I know you're watching. Mega Lucario first picked just for you. Now Team Int is going to be looking to counter this Mega Lucario. They're like, all right, they got it. They went for it. They fell for the bait. Charizard X still up. Look at DJ locking onto that Blissey. Oh no, it's Zika coming in with the Mimikyu. Biter Pig goes in with the Blissey. DJ's in the last slot. Razor Leaf Decidueye still a possibility. Just saying.
Buddy, I'm hoping for it with you as well. Let's see what Los Duros wants to bring in for their second set of Pokemon here. Already a great core that Team Int has built up. That's a tried and tested combo for them. Los Duros wants to entertain Danny on the Glaceon. Oh boy, I'm very excited for that. And no way's going to pull out the Mega Mewtwo X.
Yeah, Mega Mewtwo X, again, strong level 5. Lots of Mega Evolutions coming your way. But Alentia coming in with the Crustle. DJ locking in the Miraidon. Not a Razor Desi, but you know what? Still a very strong pick. Able to shred down Los Duros if they don't pick a healer.
A little bit crazy there's still no Suicune in here, bro. They've got Albanoa pulling out the Umbreon. Louisian's going to take the tried and tested Blaziken. Pancakes did show us a little flash of it, but I expect them to just go onto a more damaging all-rounder here. Let's see what they want to go for. I'm surprised we've got no Suicune in this fight. I mean, yeah, you do have a lot of all-rounders on the side of Los Duros, but you're getting your call, buddy.
Oh, yes! There we go! Pancakes locking in the Decidueye. They're saying, you know what? It actually cooks here. Heck yeah, demons!
Like, you know that Johnathan? He's onto something, you know? He's onto something here. Zika is going to be playing the Decidueye. And I gotta say, I love it when we see flexibility from players. Pancakes has played different roles. Zika, moving away from the Speedster role, is now on the Decidueye ranged attack.
Yeah, absolutely there. Now, we do have, yeah, look at Zika. There's like, you know what? Maybe it's not Razor Leaf Desi, but I will give you a Decidueye with a Blissey, and we're going to snipe some arrows down on that thing. When you got 2 ranged attackers, 1 targeting healer like what that Umbreon's able to do, you got to just out-pressure it, out-damage it, and there's not a whole lot of sustain on the side of Los Duros outside of the Blaziken. So every member of that team is going to be relying on that Umbreon, so Umbreon has its work cut out for it.
Yeah, I will say, though, that taking down Danny is going to be a challenge here. Pancakes has one mission: take out that Glaceon. You cannot allow Danny to be undefeated in that backline, because it's a sure hit move, right? That's what it's about. You don't have a sure hit move on the side of DJ, on the side of Zika. That Decidueye and Miraidon, they are an easy target for a Glaceon. So this is all about Pancake and how they can get themselves onto that Glaceon to take him out the fight.
Yeah, and like you said, Glaceon's going to be that threat there, but we're going to see just how Team INT is going to handle it soon. As my voice is getting all gargly there for no reason, we're going to see that Mewtwo going into the bottom there as Lucario goes to the top.
Yeah, interesting matches here. We do see that paired combo into the central area for Team INT while they try and give some assistance over to that cute little Rowlet. Does mean it's a little bit more difficult for them in the top lane, as we already see some points raining on through for that Umbreon.
Yeah, and they're going to be looking for this as well. They're setting up for these 850 birds there, but that's still about 40 seconds away. They still got to keep the pressure on. Miraidon, usually the Pokemon in this position doing that, not able to do it this time. That last Funnel Bead going towards the Eevee, and we get the evolution on the Umbreon.
Okay, Umbreon on the field, making it a lot harder for them to be able to find the lane up here. Stacks reigns through for Albanoa. Here comes Combusken ready for the 950s, but they know Mimikyu's there, and they spot them as they dive on into the bush.
Oh, yeah. No, you got to try to take out somebody. They're playing for KOs. They're playing for farm. But we do have a 4v4 up at the top there. Mega Lucario's the first to fall. The birds are gone. Alteria's still there. This side, no, my babies. This Umbreon also falls too. Team INT taking a power position up in the top, trying everything they can to get these points in. The more they score, the sooner this Decidueye gets online.
Bro, if we see more of this from Pancakes this game, I think teams need to be looking at banning a Mimikyu away from Team INT. Zika was dominating on it in the previous 2 games, and now it's actually Pancakes that is managing to get some good domination on it so far. If that continues, you've got to look at it as that's a Pokemon that a lot of their players can play really well.
Yeah, already the Miraidon is keeping the pressure on. Paired with the Mimikyu, paired with the Blissey there. They're ready to go ham as they're backing off because Regidrago has just hit the field.
Already set up to take it down is DJ here as they go for the damage onto the Regidrago. But is already here to provide the support as well. Right now, it's uncontested from them. Los Duros not even able to get in there as Danny is already zoned out in the bottom lane.
Yeah, we are going to see that this, yeah, there's the Spirit Shackle. Not a Razor Leaf, but I'm not totally upset because we still got the Decidueye. It's still doing great work there, but it's also getting chased down now. Pulled back by the Mewtwo X. Now it's sitting on top of it. The Blissey comes through and starts helping it around as the Mimikyu. Zika comes out of left field and says, not on my watch.
Bro, you're just never safe when there's a Mimikyu on the field, and the way Team Int plays it, it's always a threat. You love to see the way that they come to defend their teammates here, and I gotta say, good control from Team Int so far. They're trying to take control of both of these lanes. It looks like they're gonna try and see if they can steal both objectives, or rather, Miraidon is now looking to see if they can get a little bit of farm before they go for that bottom, while Regieleki will be taken by Team Int if they can just zone out that Luca. Keep an eye on it, buddies. They look to dive in, but they just miss.
Yeah, that Spirit Shackle's just too strong. They're starting to output a lot of damage there. Umbreon does have the Wish in its pocket there, but it's not able to get anything done. But the Regirock in the bottom was able to go to the side of Lost Duros.
Interestingly, they decide not to push the Crustle and Miraidon defending that pad. Now they're going to go back, see if they can get their own central area farm, probably recognize that Team Int was going to be taking that away from them. So right now, it feels like Team Int, they are the ones that are taking control of this map. Lost Duros looking for that farm, looking for all their Unite moves before they make a big push.
Yeah, 6 points there, now turned into 12. 2 scores, not a whole lot of points for any Pokemon that are stacking there. That's at least 2 stacks only for the side of Lost Duros. 3 now with the 30 cap in. They're closing the point gap now, but look at the levels. Level 9 now, just hitting on 2 of their carries. Level 10 on Mimikyu Decidueye. Bliss Assist going in and hitting that Mimikyu there as Pancakes dives in. We do have Zika now coming in with the support of the Spirit Shackles and landing, throwing out the Knock Knock. They want this pad. Team Int saying this is going to be our new home base.
What an effort from Bidapig there. She goes and steals the Citrus Berry, and Lost Duros have no choice but to run away when that Knock Knock is pulled out. Team Int are playing with some good conviction in this one. 213 points to 55 now, but it's all about that late game. That's the issue right now. If they can find those extra bits of levels. Right now, Glaceon, they have been stunted a little bit. Look at the way Team Int are rotating as a squad.
Yeah, that is the key thing about moving into this now as well. Lost Duros is a little bit scattered. All of the Pokemon that they have for farm on their side of the field to capture, not a lot of options because Team Int is keeping that going. Now, can Lost Duros go to the side of Team Int? Not really. Why? They have 2 Team 1 pads still up, so there's not a lot for them. Team Int is literally starving them as they rip this Regieleki here. Lost Duros, this could be like the only amount of experience that they really get to find.
Bida is coming to try and provide the assistance to DJ here, but that's not going to be enough. If they get that through, they do manage to defend the Lecky so far, pushed off with the X's, and the rest of the team is here. They've managed to grab that bottom objective, but it looks like Lost Duros are just going to full send this. Team Int are going to allow them to do it, try and get onto the retreat back to that T2 pad, recognizing that Team Int are scoring in the bottom lane as well. Lost Duros are full sending the T2 now. Bright Future Meteor Storm is going to rain on down. That's going to buy the space they were looking for as Lucario is sent back to the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, and that's the big momentum that they lost there. Now the Blaziken is trapped inside. Luisin looking for a way out, trying to get across the walls, connects with the Umbreon there, might be able to get away with a clutch mean look. Now we're going to see how it goes through because the Pancakes is able to connect onto them. I'm so used to Zika being on that Mimikyu, it just defaulted to it, but Zika is still there on that Decidueye, looking to secure Regidrago.
Even more experience for Team Int there. They have managed to catch up though with Lost Duros, at least on the side of that Lucario. But the rest of the team needs to get more work done before we see this Kyogre take the field. Team Int will not allow them to do it as they invade the central area yet again. This is the point though, Johnathan, where you've got to be very wary of how aggressive you play. You're confident that you are winning this game, but you don't want to give over silly KOs and a little bit of experience unnecessarily.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You got 1 minute left until Kyogre spawns. That fight is still very crucial. 20 seconds until Regieleki comes in. 25 until a Regiroulette spawns in the bottom. We take a look at these levels. Not a single level 13 on the side of Lost Duros. In fact, only one level 12. Well, as I say that, Blaziken hits it. But we have very low levels. Meanwhile, on the side of Team Int, we do have that one level 13. That's on Zika. Pancakes level 12. We do have that Miraidon also level 12. So we are having a bit of a level advantage coming into this. And I think that's where Team Int is going to be focused there.
They're going to get a Reggie Steel buff as well for this Kyogre. This is crazy. That's exactly what Team Int are looking for. That Lecky is going to push onto their T2. Los Duros now looking to get in very aggressive positioning for this objective coming on through. Team Int trying to see if they can get more onto their side for the defense, recognizing they were going to be in that bush. That's the issue with Kyogre here, buddy. And Infinite Sideburn has already been used.
They had to burn it. They had to try to survive. It was a panic press, and unfortunately, it just didn't get them anything. But the fight hasn't started. They didn't go anywhere. Now that Mewtwo X is back in the fray, and now they don't have that Unite move anymore because of the panic press. This is a game about patience, and you have to have good patience. Look at this. It's above a minute. It's above 60 seconds. You got time. Just play it back. Play a little bit tempo.
Right now, the ball is in the court of Los Duros. Team Int are comfortable in the lead here. They've got Brilliant Rip, though, and that's exactly what they're going to go for. Glaceon straight onto it. Oscar with the Aura Cannon. They're looking to see if they can take it here. Blaziken is on the field. It's going to be the Decidueye Seeker. Locks it in for Team Int. They're already in the lead, but can they hold strong? They've found nearly everyone from Los Duros, and that's going to be too much for them to answer to.
80 points down to the bottom will break the T2 pad. There's another Hundo Burger coming in. The 70 points there from the Crustle in the top. 535 to 252. Minute left on the clock. If we're able to find KOs, this could be a way for Los Duros to get back. Do not give up and keep pressing forward. It's only 300 points at this stage in the game. But with 3 members of Team Int gone, the most they could get is 2 buffs there. And they're looking to collapse on the Crustle. And Crustle's just delaying time as much as possible.
That was a lot of time burned there. Brilliant combo play from Vidapig and Alencia. They knew that one of them was going to go down anyway. They did get caught, but it's all about wasting that time. Now they just need to defend this T1 pad. I do recognize that Pancakes is going to score another Hundo Burger in the home pad. Zika already locks in the objective for the squad. They get a triple KO here. Team Int are going to defeat Los Duros with a 2-1 victory for the second time this weekend.
Oh, and you know what? That's what I love to see too. These rivalries being born. Los Duros going back to the drawing board has to be like, all right, what worked with us? Game number 1 worked. Game 2 took us by surprise. Do we even count that? Go into the VOD review. Do we count that? Yes, you have to. You never know what's going to happen. I think every game you should be prepared for a Sableye counter, but that's just me. Going into game 3, though, they absolutely controlled the map. Team Int just went away with it, took off, and yeah, look at this Decidueye. 8 KOs, 267 scored, 9 assists. Blissey in their pocket the whole time. 14 assists. I'm scared of what this damage is going to be.
Me too, to be fair, buddy. 98k damage for Zika there. Los Duros comparably, Danny dropping the 40k damage on the Glaceon. It was just a little bit too much push and aggression from Team Int. They stuck as a 5 throughout the majority of those fights, and they were just walking over all the farm that Los Duros was desperate to take.
Yeah, absolutely there. But look at the scores as well. They were just plateauing. Like, Los Duros just wasn't able to get anything else in beyond the Regieleki score and a Hundo Burger into that as well. So now what do you do, Team Int? You look at that. They're just constantly scoring little bits, little fluctuations, little going. They had a little plateau there between the 6 to 8 minutes there, but that's what they wanted because they had the lead. They knew it was by more than 100 points, so they don't have to be as proactive in the scoring department. They just completely used that 2 minutes of time to shut down Los Duros. They stopped them at the skull pads, they stopped them at the team fights, they stopped them at the objectives, they denied them every step of the way.
What a fight. What more could you possibly want? Every time I watch these two squads, they are so much fun in that set.
Oh, yeah.
We already saw it yesterday, but we got more of it today. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And I love the fact that these rivalries really are starting to develop now.
Yeah, and look here, we do start to see Pancakes. This is where a shift in momentum tried to happen and wasn't able to connect. We have a huge lead being further extended there. Bliss assist from 1.5 miles away, connecting onto Pancakes to make sure they stay alive despite the mean look. Umbreon doesn't quite have the Moonlight Prance there, so those shields didn't get grabbed, and more scores raining in.
Oh, I mean, it was just non-stop fighting, to be honest. Every time Los Duros was trying to find a way to break through what Team INT was bringing to them, but it just didn't work. They kept the score close, to be fair, but again, brilliant Unite usage by Team INT, buying that little bit of space that they were looking for, and just making sure, and I gotta say, huge shout out to this duo here, Bidepig and Alentia. They were so pivotal in this game for Team INT.
Yeah, and that's really crucial when you have a Pokemon like Decidueye on your team. It needs bodyguards. It needs its own secret service. And Alentia, Bidepig, they were it. They were in charge. They were locked on top. Anybody came through, they're like, no! Even Pancakes came by and said, you know what? I'll play a little bit of a mercenary for you. I'll get this guy off for a few AOS energy, and then I'll pop off and go do what I need to do.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do here, chat, as we've got one more set to bring you in week 1 of the European League Masters. We're going to go grab ourselves a quick break. Grab yourself one, get a drink, get a snack. We'll be back with you very shortly.